Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, March 4th, 2022. Big show today. College basketball, NBA, NHL. Look back on last night, look ahead to the weekend, look ahead to the weekend's Major League Soccer games, golf, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet. We're going to start with college basketball. It's a big weekend. Some conference tournaments are finishing up. We'll recap the games from yesterday really quickly, and we'll go over everything tonight and the weekend. Sun Belt first round, Louisiana over Texas Arlington, 67-64. Sun Belt first round, Little Rock over South Alabama, 75-71. UMass Lowell over Hartford, 83-73. Arkansas State over UL Monroe, 81-77. Sun Belt first round. 14 Houston over Temple, 84-46. Number 20 Illinois over Penn State, 60-55. Number 23 Ohio State over Michigan State, 80-69. Horizon League quarterfinal, Purdue-Fort Wayne over UIC, 78-72. Horizon League quarterfinal, Northern Kentucky over Detroit, 77-59. Wright State over Oakland, 75-35. Horizon League quarterfinal, Patriot League quarterfinal, Colgate over Bucknell, 96-68. Patriot League quarterfinal, Navy over American, 71-64. Patriot League quarterfinal, BU over Loyola, 74-64. Or 76-64. And Patriot League quarterfinal, Lehigh over Army, 91-77. MVC first round, Illinois State over Indiana State, 58-53. A-Sun quarterfinal, Jacksonville over Central Arkansas, 79-69. A-Sun quarterfinal, Jacksonville State over Kennesaw State, 78-67. A-Sun quarterfinal, Bellarmine over Florida Gulf Coast, 81-68. A-Sun quarterfinal, Liberty over Lipscomb, 52-47. SMU over Cincinnati, 76-71. FAU over FIU, 71-51. Monmouth over Quinnipiac, 75-72. Manhattan over Iona, 74-72. Niagara over Siena, 74-52. Canisius over Mara, 78-67. OVC quarterfinal, Southeast Missouri State over Tennessee State, 79-55. NC Central over SC State, 67-62. Norfolk State over Howard, 83-61. Morgan State over Coppin State, 63-59. Maryland Eastern over Delaware State, 63-59. Sam Houston over Tarleton, 69-50. Fairfield over Rider, 65-59. Number 6 Kansas over TCU, 72-68. Horizon League quarterfinal, Cleveland State over Robert Morris, 83-67. Tulane over UCF, 82-67. Arizona State over Cal, 71-44. Alabama and Emma over Grambling, 71-63. North Texas over UTSA, 59-48. Abilene Christian over Dixie State, 80-64. Georgia Southern over Coastal Carolina, 76-64 in the Sun Belt first round. Jackson State over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 87-79. Alcorn State over Miss Valley State, 72-69. Number 2 Arizona over Stanford, 81-69. Number 24 Iowa over Michigan, 82-71. West Coast first round, Loyola Marymount over Pacific, 86-66. Alabama State over Southern, 77-67. Memphis over South Florida, 73-64. UTEP over Rice, 70-67. Montana State over Sacramento State, 75-69. Northern Colorado over Montana, 75-66. Southern Utah over Idaho State, 79-71. Portland State over Idaho, 79-68. Eastern Washington over Northern Arizona, 69-62. Grand Canyon over Utah Valley, 68-57. MVC first round Valpo over Evansville, 81-59. OVC quarterfinal, Morehead State over Tennessee Tech, 73-56. Washington over Oregon, 78-67. Long Beach State over UC Davis, 68-65. UC Santa Barbara over Hawaii, 67-60. UC San Diego over Cal State Bakersfield, 72-70. Cal Poly over UC Irvine, 65-54. San Diego State over Fresno State, 65-64 in double overtime. Wazoo over Oregon State, 71-67. Riverside over Fullerton, 75-72. And San Diego over Pepperdine, 74-67 in the West Coast first round. All right, tonight, or I should say today, 12 o'clock, Big South quarterfinal, NCAT and Longwood from LeBeau. Projection, Longwood 7.5, total 138 and 2/10. And we got, let's see here, 7 and 136.5, very close numbers, slight overs to pick. 1 o'clock MVC quarterfinal, Illinois State, Northern Iowa. My projection is Northern Iowa by 11 and 3/8, total 147 and 5,500 from the Enterprise Center. And we got 7.5 and 148.5. So I'm going to lay the points at Northern Iowa. 2 o'clock, Charleston Southern and SC Upstate from the Bow. Big South quarterfinal. My projection is SC Upstate by 5 1/4, total 143 and 20, or I should say 143 1/4, and it's 7 and 143. So I'm going to do slight lean Charleston Southern. MVC quarterfinal, Bradley Loyola, Chicago from Enterprise. My projection is Loyola by 8.5, total 136 and 55 hundredths, and it is 5.5 and 130.5. So I'm going to go over. Citadel, East Tennessee State from Harris Cherokee Center. SoCon first round at 5 o'clock. My projection is ETSC by 4 and 5/8, total 147 and 8/10. It's 5.5 and 151. Under. Big South quarterfinal, 6 o'clock. High Point Winthrop from the Bow. My projection is Winthrop by 12 and 3/4, total 142 and 95 hundredths, and it is 7.5 and 141.5. So I'm going to lay the points with Winthrop. Ball State, Western Michigan. My projection is Ball State by 1 and 3/4, total 147 15 hundredths, and it is 4 and 145. Give me Western Michigan and the 4 points. Buffalo, Kent State, ESPNU. My projection is Kent by 1 and 5/8, total 144.5, and it's 3 and 145.5. So I'm going to do a slight lean to Buffalo. Bowling Green, Toledo, 6:30 on CBS Sports Network. My projection is Toledo 14, total 151 and 3/10, and it's 16 and 166.5. Under. 7 o'clock, MVC quarterfinal, Valpo, Missouri State Enterprise Center. My projection is Missouri by 12 and 3/4, total 148 and 8/10. And it's really 4/5 on that one. 142 and 4/5. And it is 11.5 and 143.5. Very close numbers. But I'm going to do a slight Missouri State. Richmond, St. Bonaventure, ESPN2. My projection is Bonaventure by 5 and 1/4, total 139 and 2/5. And it is 4 and 138.5. Slight St. Bonaventure. Eastern Michigan, Miami of Ohio. My projection is Miami of Ohio by 8 and 3/8, total of 147 and 7/10. And we got 9.5 and 147.5. Slight Eastern Michigan. Central Michigan, Akron. My projection is Akron 15.5, total 139 and 1/10. And it's 13.5 and 136.5. Over. 7:30, SoCon first round, Western Carolina and Mercer from Harris Cherokee Center. My projection is Mercer by 6 and 3/4, total 145.5. And it's 5.5 and 142.5. Over. OVC semifinal, 8 o'clock, ESPNU, Southeast Missouri State and number 22 Murray State. My projection is Murray by 11.5, total 145 and 3/4, and it is 15.5 and 150. So the question is, do I go with the under or do I go with Mo State? So the difference is 4 and a little over 4, so therefore I'm going to go with the under to be safe. Big South quarterfinal, Gardner-Webb and Campbell. My projection is Campbell by 1 and 7/8, total 131 and 5 hundredths. And Gardner-Webb 3.5, total 125.5. I'm going to go with the over just to be safe, but I'm going to pick Campbell to win. Ohio, Northern Illinois. My projection is Ohio by 14 and 1/8, total 137 or 138 and 7/10. And it's 10.5 and 137.5. Laying the points at Ohio. 9 o'clock, WCC second round, Loyola Marymount and BYU. Projection, BYU by 9 1/4, total 142 and 3/5. And it's 11.5 and 143.5. Oh, I'm going to do slight Loyola Marymount, but I don't really like it. Or no, I could do it's not a slight. It's actually a bet on Loyola Marymount. All right, BYU's a little higher than I thought initially, so it's over 2. So I'll take Loyola Marymount, not a slight, an actual. And from Enterprise Center, 9:30 MVC quarterfinal, Southern Illinois Drake. My projection's Drake by 6 3/4, total 133, and it's 3.5 and 126.5 on over. I almost hit under. Mistake. 10:30 ESPNU OVC semifinal, Morehead State Belmont from the Ford Center. My projection is Belmont by 3 1/4, total 140 and 500s, and it's 4 and 139.5. I'm going to go with a slight to Belmont. Morehead. Don't feel good about it, though. 11 o'clock, WCC, second round. San Diego and Portland from Orleans Arena. My projection is Portland by 1/4, total 138 and 9500s. And it's 1.5 and 138.5. So I'm going to go slight San Diego. And last but not least, Friday night, Utah State, San Jose State. My projection is Utah State by 7, total 138 and 5500s. And it's 11 and 137.5. Give me San Jose State plus the points. All right, now we'll go to the weekend. There's going to be some I'm going to be doing projections for and picks along the way. All right, so Saturday, 12 o'clock on Fox, number 11, Villanova Butler, ESPN, number 14, Arkansas, at number 13, Tennessee, CBS, number 25, Alabama at LSU, Big South semifinal, we don't know who those teams will be yet, SoCon quarterfinal, will be Chattanooga against, Oh, I clicked the wrong conference here. It'll be Chattanooga, but we don't know yet who they'll be facing. ESPN2, Virginia, Louisville, BC, Georgia Tech, 12:30, Sun Belt quarterfinal, Louisiana and Texas State. My projections are Texas State by 4 1/8, total 136.55, so I think Texas State will advance. Davidson-Dayton on USA. 1 o'clock, SEC Network, South Carolina, number 5, Auburn, ESPNU, Miami, Syracuse, Rhode Island, St. Joe's, Fairfield, St. Peters, Marist, Niagara, Quinnipiac, Iona. 2 o'clock, CBS, number 7, Kentucky at Florida, ESPN, Indiana, number 8, Purdue, Big South semifinal, we don't know yet, Middle Tennessee, Old Dominion, FIU, FAU, Virginia Tech, Clemson, ESPN2, NC State, Florida State, Dartmouth, Harvard, TCU, West Virginia, George Washington, Fordham, LaSalle, Duquesne, SoCon quarterfinal, VMI, Wofford. Projections, Wofford, 2 3/4, total 145 and 6,500s. So I think Wofford will win. On Fox, Seton Hall, Creighton, ESPN News, Pitt, Notre Dame, 3 o'clock, number 12, Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. Sun Belt quarterfinal, Little Rock, Troy. Projections, Troy by 5 1/4, total 137, so I think Troy will win. ESPNU, East Carolina, Wichita State, Stanford, Arizona State, Rice, UTSA, North Texas, UTEP, Marshall, Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech, UAB, Charlotte, Southern Miss, MVC semifinal, 3:30, CBS Sports Network, we don't know yet. Georgia, Missouri on SEC Network. 4 o'clock, ESPN, number 21, Texas, and number 6, Kansas. CBS, Oregon, Washington State, UC Cal State, Bakersfield, Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, Southeast Louisiana, Northwestern State, Chicago State, Seattle, Cal Baptist Lamar, Cornell, Columbia, Oklahoma, Kansas State, ESPN2, VCU, St. Louis, UMass George Mason, Siena Canisius, Monmouth Rider, Fresno, Wyoming, 4:30 Nichols hosting New Orleans, 5 o'clock Cal at Arizona, number 2 Arizona, 5 o'clock on Fox, DePaul at number 18 UConn, CAA first round Northeastern and William & Mary. My projections here, William and Mary by, Northeastern by 8, total 137 and 5/100. Northern Arizona, Idaho, Portland State, Eastern Washington, A&M, Corpus Christi, Incarnate Word. 5:30, Miss Valley State, Jackson State, Grambling, Alabama State. 6 o'clock, ESPN2, Iowa State, number 3, Baylor. Big game, ESPN, North Carolina, number 4, Duke. Coach K's final home game. That's going to be an emotional game. Of course, it's against Carolina. I think Carolina is going to get up for that game. So if my projection shows that I can bet on Carolina, I'm betting on Carolina. NEC semifinal, Mount St. Mary and Bryant. Projection, Bryant 8 1/4, total 140 and 45/100. Sun Belt quarterfinal, Arkansas State and Georgia State. Projection, Georgia State by 2 5/8, total 136 and 4/5. MVC semifinal, 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, we don't know yet. ASUN semifinal, Bellarmine and Liberty. Projection, Liberty by 7 1/8, total 138 and 95/100. SoCon quarterfinal, Furman against TBD. Northern Colorado, Montana State. Princeton, Penn, Vandy, Ole Miss on SEC Network, 7 o'clock. Summit League quarterfinal, Omaha, South Dakota State. So that podcast will be coming in either some point today, either this morning or tonight. So you'll see what I have projected for the Summit League once I get to that show. So I apologize for not revealing it on this show, because that one's yet to be published. ASUN semifinal, Jacksonville State. My projection is State by 6 7/8, total 131 and 95/100. UC Riverside, Long Beach State, Georgetown, Xavier, Fox Sports 1, Brown, Yale, Southern Alabama A&M at 7:30, Oregon State, Washington. 8 o'clock, NEC semifinal, LIU, Wagner. My projection's Wagner by 9 3/4, so 143 and 95/100. Southern Utah, Weber State, McNeese, Houston Baptist, Dixie State, Grand Canyon, Stephen Foster, Texas, Rio Grande, Tarleton, Abilene Christian. 8:30, ESPN2, OVC final. We don't know who that will be yet. I'm going to say it's Belmont Murray State for the right to go to the big dance. Although I think Murray State is in regardless. Or I should say the right to win the OVC tournament. Sun Belt quarterfinal, Georgia Southern App State. Projection, App State by 8 5/8, total 130 and 35/100. SoCon quarterfinal. UNC Greensboro and Sanford. Projection, Sanford by 3/8, total 137 and 7/10. Preview, Texas Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Alcorn State. SEC Network, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. CBS Sports Network, Boise, Colorado State. 9 o'clock, UC Davis, Cal State Fullerton. Fox Sports 1, St. John's Marquette. Sac State, Montana. Utah Valley, New Mexico State. 9:30 Summit League quarterfinal, Denver, North Dakota State. ESPN Colorado, Utah. 10 o'clock, ESPN number 16 USC at number 17 UCLA. Hawaii, Northridge, UC San Diego, Cal Poly. ESPN2, WCC quarterfinal. We don't know against San Francisco. 10:30 CBS Sports Network, San Diego State, Nevada. UNLV, New Mexico at 11. And at 12:30 a.m., which is 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, WCC quarterfinal. We have Santa Clara, and we don't know who they'll be facing yet. All right, Sunday, 12 o'clock, CBS, number 14, Houston at Memphis. 12 o'clock, CAA quarterfinal. We have Towson, but we don't know who they're facing. ESPN2, Big South final. We don't know who that matchup will be yet. Big Ten Network, Penn State, Rutgers. 12:30 on Fox, Michigan at number 23, Ohio State. 1 o'clock, AEC quarterfinal, UMass Lowell and UMBC. Just like the Summit League, I'll have that preview and predictions show either tonight or tomorrow. But Sunbelt's guaranteed to be today. AEC will probably be up either tonight or tomorrow. So sorry about that. And then Binghamton, New Hampshire, Big Ten Network, 2 o'clock. Nebraska at number 10, Wisconsin. NJIT, Vermont. Albany, Hartford. Patriot League semifinal, Lehigh, Colgate, 2 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. My projection is Colgate 13 and an 8th, total 141 and 7/10. MVC final, 2 o'clock, CBS, we don't know yet. ESPNU, UCF Tulsa. South Florida Temple, 2:30. CAA quarterfinal, Delaware Drexel. Projection, Delaware by 3 1/8, total 144 7/10. 3 o'clock Tulane SMU. 4 o'clock CBS Sports Network Patriot League semifinal, BU and Navy. My projection is Navy 2.5, total 130 5/500. ESPNU is the SoCon semifinal. We don't know who that is yet. 4:30 CBS, Maryland, Michigan State. 6 o'clock CAA quarterfinal, Alon and UNC Wilmington. My projection is Wilmington by 7 1/8, total 137 4/5. Sunbelt semifinal, we don't know yet. SoCon semifinal, 6:30 ESPNU, we don't know yet. 7 o'clock Summit League quarterfinal, South Dakota, Kansas City. They'll be posted later tonight, as I mentioned. 7:30 Fox Sports 1. Number 24, Iowa. Number 20, Illinois. Big Ten Eric, Minnesota Northwestern. 8:30 CAA quarterfinal, Charleston Hofstra. Projection Hofstra by 4 5/8, total 152 3/10. Sunbelt semifinal, we don't know yet. And 9:30 Summit League quarterfinal, Western Illinois and Oral Roberts. Wow, that was a long time for college basketball. Sorry about that. All right, NBA. We will recap the games from last night, and we'll quickly go over the weekend slate. Hawks over the Bulls, 130-124. Celtics over the Grizz, 120-107. Heat over the Nets, 113-107. Pistons over Raptors, 108-106. Mavs over the Warriors, 122-113. Kings over the Spurs, 115-112. And the Clippers over the Lakers, 132-111. All right. Tonight's games, 7 o'clock, you have the Pacers and the Pistons. Projection Pistons by 2, total 219.05. And we got Pacers 2.5, total 228.5 under. Cavs 76ers, my projection is Philly by 8 3/4, total 212, and it's 7.5 and 217.5 under. Hawks Wizards projection, Wizards 2 1/4, total 221.1. And it's 4 and 222.5. Wrong. Oh my God, I keep forgetting that Bradley Beal is out. I keep forgetting that I'm not accounting for his injury in these projections. So I have to change this line on the spot here. I completely forgot about that. So it's Hawks by 3 1/4, total 221.1. And so a slight under. Bucks Bulls 7:30 ESPN, big game. My projection is the Bulls by 2 3/4, total 223.6, and it is Milwaukee by 5, total 240. Oh boy. I'm going under still. Magic Raptors. My projection is Toronto by 11 3/4, total 216, and it's 8 and 219.5. So I'm going to lay to 8 with the Raptors. Jazz Pelicans at 8 o'clock. My projection is Utah by 4 1/4, total 218 4/5, and it's 4 and 224 under. Timberwolves Thunder. My projection is OKC as a 3/4 underdog, total 218 3/500, and it's Minnesota 9.5, total 230.5. Oh my God. I know I'm picking under every time. We're going to be different and take the Thunder. Thunder and under kind of rhyme, but I'm going to take the Thunder getting the 9.5. 9 o'clock, Rockets Nuggets. My projection is Denver by 12.5, total 219 3/500. And it's 13 and 236 under. And then last but not least, 10 o'clock ESPN, the Knicks and the Suns. My projection is Suns by 8, total 215 and 8,500. And 6.5 and 222.5 under easy. No Chris Paul, no Devin Booker, automatic under for me. All right. Saturday, 5 o'clock Kings, Mavs, 7 o'clock Spurs, Hornets, 8 o'clock 76ers, Heat, Magic, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Still Trailblazers, Timberwolves, and then the Saturday primetime game, Warriors-Lakers. I'd much rather it be 76ers Heat. That should be the ABC game. The Heat are getting disrespected. I can't keep talking off subject here. 1 o'clock, ABC, Nets, Celtics. 3:30, ABC, Suns, Bucks. 6 o'clock, Pacers, Wizards. 7 o'clock, Grizz, Rockets. Jazz, Thunder. 7:30, ESPN, Raptors, Cavs. 8 o'clock, Pelicans, Nuggets. And 10 o'clock, ESPN, Knicks, Clippers. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from last night, and we will look ahead to the games from tonight and the weekend. It's not loading for some reason. Oh, here we go. Pens over the Lightning 5-1. Panthers over the Sens 3-0. Wild over the Flyers 5-4. Caps over the Canes 4-0. Canucks over the Islanders 4-3. Blackhawks over the Oilers 4-3 in overtime. Canadians over the Flames 5-4 in overtime. Coyotes over the Avs 2-1. Bruins over the Golden Knights 5-2. And then tonight, 7 o'clock, you have the Wild and the Sabres from Buffalo. Wild minus 205, Buffalo plus 168, over under 6.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 124, Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 152. Let's go with the over. Red Wings Lightning. Lightning minus 275, Red Wings plus 220, over under 6.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 110. Red Wings plus 1.5 is plus 104, Lightning minus 1.5 is minus 128. Let's go. I'm going to go with the under in that game. Be a little conservative and contrarian. Devils, Rangers. Rangers minus 162. Devils plus 134. Over under 6. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 176. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 142. Devils and overs have been synonymous, but Igor Shesterkin is on the other side. And he might be the Hart favorite right now, according to some people. But I don't know if I agree with that. Certainly the Vezina favorite. So I'm going to go Rangers in regulation minus 110. Penguins, Hurricanes. Canes minus 142. Pens plus 118. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Pens plus 1.5 is minus 10. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go over 6.5 minus 102. Kings, Blue Jackets. Kings minus 162. Jackets plus 134. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 156. Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 194. I'm going to go in this game with the Kings in regulation at plus 105, but I don't feel good about it. 8 o'clock, Stars, Jets. Stars minus 115, Jets minus 104, over under 6, overs minus 108, unders minus 112, Jets minus 1.5, or Stars minus 1.5 is plus 225, Jets plus 1.5 is minus 290. I'm going to go with Dallas on the road, minus 115. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Golden Knights, Ducks. Vegas minus 135, Ducks plus 104, over under 6, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 210, Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 265. Something's just not right with Vegas. I'm going with the Ducks at home at plus 104 as a home dog. All right, Saturday, 12:30, NHL Network, Blues Islanders. 3 o'clock, ABC, Blackhawks Flyers. 4 o'clock, Sens Coyotes. 6 o'clock, Red Wings Panthers. 7 o'clock, Canucks Maple Leafs. Kraken Caps. NHL Network, Bruins Blue Jackets. Canadians Oilers. 8 o'clock, Preds Sharks. And 10 o'clock, Flames Avalanche. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Kings Sabres. Blues Devils. 4 o'clock, TNT, Stars Wild. 7 o'clock, Kraken Hurricanes. NHL Network, Lightning Blackhawks. Rangers Jets. 8 o'clock, Sens Golden Knights. And Sharks Ducks. All right, now I'm going to go over the Major League Soccer slate for the weekend. It's fun to have that sport back in our lives. So Saturday, 1:30, New England, Dallas. 2 o'clock, Toronto, Red Bulls. 3:30, Kansas City, Houston. 4 o'clock, football, Montreal, Philadelphia. 5:30, San Jose, Columbus. 6 o'clock, Chicago, Orlando. Colorado, Atlanta. Cincinnati, DC United. Minnesota, Nashville. Salt Lake, Seattle. Vancouver, NYCFC. And Charlotte and the Galaxy. And then Sunday, 4 o'clock, on ESPN, Austin hosting Miami, and 10 o'clock, LAFC hosting Portland. All right, now I'm going to go over the current leaderboard for the 2 golf tournaments that are currently taking place. We'll start with Arnold Palmer. because that is the more notable one. In first place with a score of 8 under, Billy Horschel. Second with 7 under, Rory McIlroy. Tied for third with 5 under. We're just going to go through notables because we have not much time here. J.J. Spawn, Victor Hovland, Charles Howell III. Tied for 8th with 4 under, Gary McDowell, Walter Zalatoris, Sanjay M, Adam Scott, Aaron Weiss, Tyrell Hatton, Ian Poulter. Tied for 16th with 3 under, Siwoo Kim, Taylor Gooch, Paul Casey. Tied for 23rd with 2 under, Lee Westwood, Gary Woodland, Kang Hu Lee, Scotty Scheffler, Ricky Fowler, Ryan Henley, Matt Jones, John Rahm. Tied for 37th with 1 under, Keegan Bradley, Troy Merritt, Pat Perez, Taylor Moore, Lucas Griffin, Patton Kazir, Sam Burns, Henrik Norlander. Tied for 53rd at even, Sebastian Munoz, Zach Johnson, Cesar V, Keith Mitchell, Lucas Hodges, Corey Connors, Lucas Glover, Dylan Fratelli, Brendan Todd, Adam Putnam, and Jason Kokrak. Tied for 65th with 1 over, Matt Fitzpatrick, Dylan McCarthy, Lucas Herbert, Hideki Matsuyama, Sam Ryder, Patrick Rogers, Danny Lee, Maverick McNeely, Brant Snecker, Matt Wolf, Kristen Ziedenhout. Tied for 81st with 2 over, Patrick Reed, Rory Sabatini, Kevin Strillman, Sam Bennett, Luke List, Justin Rose, Aaron Wright, Nate Whitney. Tied for 93rd with 3 over, Kevin Kisner, Cam Davis, Vincent Willey, Tommy Fleetwood, Evan Van Rooyen, Sergio Garcia. Tied for 103rd with 4 over, Matt Wallace, Scott Stalling, Sepp Straka. Tied for 108th with 5 over, Charles Schwartzel, Hudson Swafford, Sam Piercy, Carlos Ortiz, Michael Thompson, Taylor Hoge. Tied for 116th with 6 over, Cam Triangle. And tied for 119th with 10 over, Kevin Na and Seamus Power. And Puerto Rico Open, just going to go through some notables. In first place right now with 10 over is Michael Kim. In second with 8 under is Satoshi Kodiara. And some other notables. Dylan Van der Walt's in a tie for 9th with 5 under. Vincent Taylor's in a tie for 15th with 4 under. Tie for 24th with 3 under, Richie Wierenski, Rafa Cabrera Bello, Mariano Gillick. Tie for 34th with 2 under, Bryce Garnett, DJ Tran. Tied for 47th with 1 under, Cam Thompson, Bo Van Pelt, Nate Lashley, Chasen Hadley, Bo Hogg. Tied for 65th at even, Joseph Brumlett, Cam Piercy. Tied for 74th with 1 over, Tyler Duncan. Tied for 82nd with 2 over, Camilo Vegas. And among notables, that is really it. All right, now we'll do NASCAR. We have 3 races this weekend. We have Truck, we have Xfinity, and we have the Cup. All from Las Vegas. The Trucks is tonight, 9 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. I'm just going to go through the DraftKings odds and pick a winner because of time restrictions. So the Truck Series, which is the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race at Las Vegas. Victoria's Voice Foundation 200. So I'm just going to make a pick, and I'm going to go with value here, and I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes at 15-1 to win this race. Xfinity, the Alsco Uniforms 300. Just a pick. I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger 8-1. Then the Pennzoil 400 for the Cup Series, which is Sunday 3:30 on Fox. My pick to win this race, I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin 12-1 to win the Pennzoil 400. All right, I'm going to do a quick news and notes. for today. Like, super duper quick. The Cowboys tight end, Blake Jarwin, got hip surgery, so he's supposed to miss week 1. So the Sixers signed DeAndre Jordan, and Willie Cauley signs 10-day contract. Bradley Beal likely staying with the Wizards, and he's leaning towards re-signing with the team. So the NBA denies expansion reports about Las Vegas and Seattle. And that's because Bill Simmons said it on his podcast. Jason Taylor joins the U as a staff member in an off-the-field role. Some combine stuff. The Liberty quarterback, Malik Willis, wows teams at the combine. So get ready for that to be a big subplot. The Giants asked Sterling Shepard to take a pay cut. Victor Oladipo is coming back on Monday against the Rockets. That's good. Joe Harris out for the season for the Brooklyn Nets. I think we saw that coming. PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler did not play against the Nets last night. OG Anunoby out 2 more weeks for his fractured finger injury. The Browns want Baker Mayfield as the QB1. So at least they that Baker Mayfield, like, some relief has been lifted off of his shoulders. Lamar Jackson not in rush for a new contract. That's going to become a distraction at some point, I think. So Duncan Keith had his first game back in Chicago, and the Hawks gave him a video tribute, which was very nice. So there was a fight in the Lightning Penguins game. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that John Cooper got ejected. So the Blue Jackets GM denies that Patrick Laine is in trade rumors. Well, this is lying season, as we know. And there's a lot of trade rumors surrounding Brock Besser, as the Canucks are 4 points back to the playoffs. I said on the podcast a few weeks ago, I think a team like the Rangers would be a good fit for Brock Besser. And some big NFL news dropping last night is that the league and the Players Association to suspend all aspects of the COVID-19 protocols. So that is big news for the NFL. And more big NFL news is that Aaron Rodgers is likely returning to the Packers for 2022. So that's crazy. A lot of people thought that he had played his last game for the Packers. So that's crazy. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. I'm going to keep the trend going with the NBA unders. Yesterday's best bet, I got a win as I went with the under 241 in the Sacramento-San Antonio game, and it paid off. And I'm going to go with another NBA under, as they've been like my calling card of late. And I'm going to go with the under in the I'm undecided which game I'm going to go under in. Oh my god. And let's go with the Bucks Bulls under. So I'm going to do a half unit on under 240.5 between the Bucks and the Bulls as my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday, recapping everything from the weekend, looking ahead to everything going on Monday, news and notes. We'll recap American Idol. Hopefully have the NFL offseason activity on the show, and then obviously a mock bracket and best bet. I'll be posting podcasts throughout the weekend, previewing, predicting these conference tournaments that will be happening next week and this weekend as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.